And shorts, and surf, and scuba, and sand, and sailing, and soccer. San Diego, California.
Season's greetings, rainy season's greetings to everybody. Here's Two Balls and a Mic, episode 210. We are back here on a Monday. We're going to go ahead and talk about a couple of things coming up. San Diego Wave make a new player announcement. We're going to go ahead and get into that and what it's going to look like in the outcome in the first couple of games. Casey Stoney's team is taking shape. We're also going to go ahead and talk about the Coachella friendlies. The Coachella Invitational is happening. They're going to be involved. Also, they are playing against UCLA in an upcoming preseason match. I know people are taking note on that one. SDFC, the Chrome Ball Tour, the Escondido, the ESCO event went fantastically. We're going to go ahead and talk about everything that happened. It was my turn to experience a Chrome Ball event up north. And with the MLS also, we're going to touch on Leagues Cup, some Conca Champion action. World Cup, the schedule is out. The sole reason why we made this podcast is to make the dream of covering soccer in San Diego, but also the World Cup. We're going to see what's possible. Are people going to go to the World Cup? Are you guys going to go on the World Cup? San Diego players abroad. Where in the world is soccer in the world from San Diego? We're going to talk about a couple players that are doing it well. And everybody's favorite segment. Everybody actually liked the segment. El Juego Bonito. Goals, gaffes, and greats. Everything that went down. We want to go ahead and say season's greetings to everybody. Stop procrastinating Puma here for a while. Season's Eric Fowler. Hopefully you can see him at the San Diego Soccer's halftime match. Alicia up north. Let us know how the seasons are over there.
El Toro Fuerte's back.
We have season's greetings.
Jeff
Abramovitz. And
oh my God.
we want Cody Rhodes. Finish the story.
All right.
You have no idea what that means.
I do. Rocking.
And pause that.
Yeah, let's dive into it, right? Do you want? We're starting with San Diego Wave, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's best we start with San Diego Wave because there were some very new breaking news that were dropped today.
Yeah. So breaking news today. Casey Stoney's side is, like I said, taking shape. New player incoming. And we had the exclusive. I should probably put the one that we had, on our fantastic website, sandiego.futbol. Everything San Diego football related on here. Check out the website, sandiegofutbol.com. A lot of you have actually been checking them out. Like, we're looking at the numbers, and it's increasingly exponentially, just in general. So thank you guys for making that click. It really means a lot because, it's a cool little project that's still growing. Yeah. But yeah, so the news that happened here, if you go to sandiego.futbol, boom. See, se ve?
See?
You're watching it?
Mm-hmm.
It just went down. San Diego Wave FC acquired Caitlin. Go for it.
Torpy?
We're going to go with Kate. You know what? No. So we're going to go ahead and talk about this player coming up, getting acquired from Melbourne City FC. You know where Melbourne is?
Australia. The A-League.
I never doubted you for a second. You can check out the article here. As we broke the news, San Diego FC announced, Wave FC announced today that they have acquired Australian defender Caitlin Topi from Melbourne City. Again, if my pronunciation is wrong, let me know in the comments because I always point it out to you. And
Torpy.
It's
Torpy.
And I've seen highlights just in silence, just in the nature of working at 9 to 5, and doing some doing some of this news breaking in between.
What are you talking about? It's the intern dropping all this.
That too. So new contract the last 2 years and goes through 2025. It was said that Caitlin is a talented young defender who has a bright future ahead of her with Wave. General manager Molly Downton said she's a fantastic addition to the group and defenders, and is great. And she moves well going forward. You do have some highlights here as well embedded into the website. Look at that.
I know.
So yeah, from what we were seeing from this player and just looking at some of the highlight packages is she's touted as a defender, but as we know in the NWSL, you have to be a jack of all trades and really have a multitude of talents. And so we do see some goal highlights from a defender which really
It's really cool. It's really cool. I wish I could have seen some of her like slide tackling highlights or anything like that. But again, highlighting a defender that's scoring 6 goals in a season, that's something to kind of like marking your radars, right? Especially if you're other NWSL teams. All the teams are making moves right now. So it's only necessary for Wave. They are definitely investing in this backline, Tony.
Absolutely. And so this is really, we asked Casey Stoney a while back, actually, in the crest reveal way back when for Wave, that, hey, is this going to be a team that you're going to be building from the back? Is this something, because obviously Casey Stoney being a defender herself, really, it's really kind of how a player turned manager tends to build their team is from what they know. And so being an offensive minded being a defensive minded manager moving forward, you want to also take into consideration the other side of it and just how you're going to go ahead and attack that. You build from the back. San Diego Wave has always been known to really be able to, when they can, control the ball, control the place, dictate how the ball is moving into the spaces, and moving from the back with a great passer and confidence with Naomi Girma, and even further back with Kaylin Sheridan. You're really going to start seeing a different play style than we may have really come to know from San Diego Wave, especially with these new players moving forward, adding to the attack that San Diego Wave has already signed here previously.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, right, they're just very much investing in this backline, which is something that they probably should have done last season. Not only did they sign Torpey, I'm going to go with Torpey, they also signed Hanna Lundqvist, I think. Swedish player from Atletico Madrid, a natural right back who can adapt to the left back position. So essentially, there's depth in that backline, which is something that they struggled with last season.
Yeah.
So you can tell that they are definitely investing in where they struggled last season, which is essentially where you want to see your team. You want to see the team putting in money, putting in more focus on when they struggled last year. You saw Jaden Shaw is going to score goals. You saw Alex Morgan. Better hope she has a better season than last season. But you saw what Jaden Shaw can do. You saw what Mackenzie Donia can do. You're still going to generate those goals. You're going to be a threat on the final third. But now you're really going to set the ground with this backline. So I am excited to see what San Diego Wave, how they play, especially after the preseason, where they're not all going to get to play together because of the international Women's Gold Cup that's happening. So Casey Stoney did say, oh, it's not ideal, right, to have your players leave during preseason, but it happens, and it's happening now with this tournament. But yeah, Tony, I don't know how you feel about this investment in the backline.
Again, I think it's really smart, just playing to the strengths of Casey Stoney in the first couple of years. It's really kind of knowing what the style of American soccer and what the landscape is in the league, what the play styles are. And I can tell you, and she can tell you this very much, at times can be seen being outcoached in many ways. And I think that's kind of where she maybe lacks that experience in knowing what the adjustments are needed in the attacking third, as you're saying, at the end. It's really taking matters into your own hands if your strength is to build a strong core of players that's going to be able to take care of the players up front that can do some magic. That's all you need, just somebody to feed those attackers, especially in this league where sometimes the midfield play is not as clean as you may want it to be. You can really have overhead passes be incredibly damaging with the speed, like with Jaden Shaw. If you have Sophia Jakobsson kind of firing on all cylinders, that'd be great. And she can take care of some of those things for you. But this presents itself to be really cool, and I think this is the evolution of Casey Stoney's management style. And you know what? We'll see what happens, because the Wave has made it into places where most expansion teams in any sport, in any league, would love and dream to be in, right? Semifinals, in playoffs, winning the Supporters Shield, being the best in the league essentially during the regular season. But ultimately, I think the championship is where they want to be, and that's been said, that's been explained, that's been kind of discussed a lot already within Wave walls. And so I think the team knows that they need to step up, and Casey's commitment here for the players is something that's going to go above and beyond just, making this a comfortable place for her, but making a comfortable place for her team and just being able to trust the process.
100%. And I mean, let's talk about it, right? Because she technically is the 5th international slot. Officially, she's the 4th because Emily Van Ekman has not been listed as one of the international slots, which she has been in the past 2 seasons. So you have Sofia Jakobsson, Emily Van Ekman, Hannah Lundsphinx, Maya Jones, and Torpe. I hope it's pronounced like that. Kaylin Sheridan doesn't take up an international spot because she was in the league before the rule got applied, so she was grandfathered into it, meaning she doesn't count as an international slot, which is amazing if you're San Diego Wave, right? But essentially, you can pretty much say Van Ekman will be listed as an international unless there's something that happened during the offseason that she won't be. Maybe she got her citizenship and she's an American citizen.
Yeah,
now.
those are dynamics that working with the San Diego Sockers are real, and you'd hope that a league has it together a little bit more, and hopefully NWSL also has it a little bit more tightened up. But again, the competition in the NWSL is going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. Look, Gotham FC, the current reigning defending champions that nobody in New York City cares about. Sure, there are some people that do, but not as much as I think people in San Diego care about San Diego Wave. It's a growing fan base altogether, but look,
they're probably generating more clicks that New Jersey is going to get the World Cup final. Yeah,
and they have themselves a couple of World Cup winners. They have a good international roster. Gotham FC does. We're going to see what those 2 teams match up and how they match up first, and with a Challenge Cup game to open up the season. But again, you have also moves that are happening, and we'll see how we're gonna. I think I'm gonna keep a close eye on this because this is kind of tying it to SFC in a way. But this was Bay FC adding Ghanaian international Princess Marfo to the attack, first player to make it to FC Northland's female women's side, and now taking that next step in her career, coming over to Bay FC. It'll be interesting what the development is. She's a Right to Dream product. Awesome. She is a Right to Dream product. Okay. So what is that going to mean for the academies going forward for Right to Dream here?
Is stocking up, man.
Because they also signed
they're filling up their international slots as well for sure. And man, it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on Bay FC, especially with Scarlett Camberos also in that team, right? So very interesting thing. They for Bay FC.
No, they also just signed Asisat Oshawala from Barcelona. I've seen her play. It's actually insane. I actually had her FIFA card for
Manchester City, I believe, that went to Seattle. I forgot to which team I saw.
The league is getting stronger, is what I'm saying, and so it's a matter of Wave really.
I think also players are seeing that there's more money to make in the NWSL than probably abroad. And just with these players coming in. And this is the biggest difference right now with the NWSL compared to the MLS, right? The NWSL is getting world stars that are reaching their prime, if not in their prime now, not a bunch of has-beens.
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting Luis Suarez, who can barely run anymore.
Yeah.
They're getting players that are at the peak of their careers. So that's the difference right now between the NWSL and the MLS, if you ask me. They're getting value for players that are really going to make an impact, and it's just the start. You wait till next season, oh man, more of these players are going to be signing up with different teams. They're going to have to change the rule about 5 international slots only. You're going to have to make it more. So shout out to the NWSL as a whole for making these big moves happen.
And the interesting thing here is that, again, we're all going to wait to see how this rolls out, because this all falls on the league. It's the strength of the league that's really going to dictate how big these teams get. Yeah. I think there's a bigger magnifying glass overall in terms of the women's sport in the United States because of those moves, right? And you're alluding to other leagues that shall be not named until about 20 minutes from now. That do exactly that. And when Mbappe signs for the MLS, let me know, in his prime in the next couple of years, when Somebody like give me another. Who would you put in that echelon? Not even Erling Haaland. Give me another one. Let's give a good
Dini?
Vinicius Junior. Okay, somebody less
Who, by
superstar.
the way, he's out here liking Liga MX players.
Because that was
profile.
yeah, no, but no, the NWSL is getting those top of the line players in their prime, and it's good to see. It's really good to see, and it's better for us.
They're getting a Griezmann.
Yeah, yeah.
Caliber player, if you want to just be comparison.
PD for Bay FC, as Lynn is saying here. Rodrigo, another one there. Oh no, Travis accidentally started watching live. Stop now, spoiling tomorrow's viewing for me. We want to thank everybody who watches, listens, and consumes San Diego Punto Football, 2 balls and a mic, and any other products, whether that be the articles that are being thrown on the website and getting populated and getting really awesome up there, to just this live streams. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, we are loving the interaction. It's a, if you didn't notice, we're actually in more HD than we are usually for like the last 4 years, which, by the way, it's been 4 years. Congratulations.
Congrats, man. 4 years of
your hands cold.
Yes, it is fucking cold.
It is. I'm chilling.
I know
right now.
you are.
Thanks to this Brujos
nice
78 jersey. Thank you, Brujos, part of the San Diego Soccer's the San Diego Soccer.
I was going to talk shit and say, "Wow, I can't believe you're part of a supporters group. You can't. You're media." But I feel like you have to
I don't have to. I can
part of the team.
I can support.
Well,
people who
you
support
the team that you work for. That only makes sense.
Thank you, Michael Faria. Congrats on 4. Nah, dude, it was rough.
Don't show.
It was rough.
Episodes.
No,
okay.
I won't show the first episode, but I will show something in here in a bit. Is just the dynamics of what it was. But tomorrow, before while I bring this up, tomorrow, we were gonna go out there to have some content. We're gonna go ahead and send our correspondent, but it was canceled to San Diego Wave. So instead,
in-person media availability got canceled due to weather for San Diego Wave. But stay tuned because there will be a virtual one with Jaden Shaw. So stay tuned on our socials for that, dropping later tomorrow. And that's all we're gonna have for this week when it comes to media coverage for Wave, at least media availability. I want to give a big shout out to Melanie Barcenas real quick, because she started and played in both games for the U.S., right? When it comes to the CONCACAF Women's Under-17 tournament. In a big game against Panama, 13-0. She got 1 assist, but then they also just beat Puerto Rico 3-1, which was yesterday. So big shout out to Mel B.
Getting an assist in that 17-0, 13-0, 17 and 13.
Anything after 10 is una paliza.
Yeah, you kind of forget how, there are levels to this, and this is what the U.S. is going to be expecting, and that's going to be something to talk about when the Women's Gold Cup comes here in San Diego, and just in general with that outlook of what is that team going to look like? Is this women's national team going to still have the are they still going to have the veteran presence? Are they going to have this new blood, this new fast rising talent be on display? And I'm not even talking about Melanie Barcenas, because you, me, Casey, and Mel, and everybody knows that she needs time in the pressure cooker. But look, Jaden Shaw, ready to go. Mia Official,
and Jaden Shaw is still only going to be 20 this year, I believe. So that's still very freaking young, especially considering that it's known that the women players tend to go all the way to like 37 years old, 35 years old, and that's literally still their prime. Look at Alex Morgan. Last season, she had one of her best seasons of her career, and she was, 33, 34? So Jaden Shaw, keep an eye on that. Melanie Barcenas, turning 17. She's still very young to even try to rely on, but she's going to be making an impact for sure coming.
This is a big year for her. This is a big, and Casey said that on a previous interview, that this is going to be a huge year for Mel B, and she's going to really be showcased as part. Oh, where it is? There it is.
Are you gonna buy the Vision Pro?
No, that's too scary for me. That's way too scary for me, because I would never come back.
Yeah, no, you
I
would
would
not.
never
You
come
would
back.
not. That would be
Like
the end of
life, that's
Team
life.
Ultimate.
That's no. Like I would become technology.
Yeah.
I would be just in there and
Oh no, I regret asking because now we're getting sidetracked, Tony. So
hey
let's
man,
let's get
hey
back on
man,
track.
if you want to go
Let's
ahead
not
and
talk
and
technology like that right now because
if you want to
you'll end up swiping credit cards, and we're not about to do that.
but yeah, as again Michael is saying, like it's not where you want, it's where you're going to be. World Cup 2026. I'm not going to share that, but I'll share this one.
What are you gonna share? Ah, you too much.
Look at this. Oh, look, he's going to catch it. He's going to catch it. Where's up there? Where is it? Oh, it did it at the same time. That's literally
We were
the
so
dynamic.
proud. We were so proud of that moment.
That's literally the dynamic that built two balls in a mic is literally estupideces, stupid things like this. And I wouldn't change it for the world. 4 years. 4 years.
oh, man.
But yeah, so San Diego Wave, the Coachella Invitational is happening. Like I said,
It's only 4 teams from the NWSL participating in it. It's mostly MLS teams.
Mhm.
The NWSL teams get the last 2 days, which is day 6, Tuesday, February 20th, with San Diego Wave against Bay FC.
Mhm.
That's going to be a very interesting game to watch. We're going to try our best to go out there because Coachella's a bit of a drive, right? How far is Coachella actually?
Palm Springs,
So like
just the other way.
3
kinda,
hours?
I think
It's 2-3 hours?
probably. I mean,
Okay.
you can make it in 2 if you're really trying.
There is a Saturday match, February 4th. You're able to buy your passes now if you're interested in that. Wave do play Portland Thorns, and then it's Angel City versus Bay FC. So definitely check that out. It'd be cool if we're able to go to some of these MLS games. Check out the competition for the future for
Yeah.
SDFC.
Yeah, and again, everything that's kind of
3
wrapping
hours.
itself
Thank
up.
you. Thank you, Esteban.
How slow are you driving, Esteban? Come
He's
on.
like
man.
I go to Coachella all the time.
Good question here. Michael says, "How do you think success will be defined for Asmel in the World Cup under 17? Does she need to dominate? Does she need to score? I think if she's contributing in important ways, and that's super vague because her play style is really dribble and fancy flair. I think she needs to get a hold of some basics, and not necessarily in terms of like controlling the ball. No, like just knowing situations and when to do that, when not to do that, because there are situations where she's thrown in there and she tries to do the flary maneuvers and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And she gets the ball again and it works. And with that, she's going to try 2-3 more times. Do you want that, or do you need the player who sometimes gets out of it, and instead of doing the second or third skill at the second stop, she looks up and passes it and lays it off, right? But she needs to kind of get that IQ set, and it's really just the growth of the game and recognizing the situations. So if she can start contributing, whether through assists, whether through the runs, and something that's not really given on the stat sheet, that's going to be important. I think that the flair finesse aspect of her game is set. Like she can go up against the best of them. And I think just being able to utilize her other tools and just have those be more, it's like Neymar, right? He at some point got to figure out that, look, I'm going to keep getting fouled. I'm going to keep getting this because I am the flair. I am this. The NWSL game is a little cleaner and just in general. But it can happen. Like it can happen where you're going to upset a defender because you're doing one too many step overs and they're going to come in and just, all right, that's enough of that.
And that's the thing, right?
And that's also part of the intelligence. Yeah.
It's going to happen where one of these times Mel B is going to get cracked in the NWSL. And you bring up the question is, oh, hey, she's a kid, blah, blah, blah. I'm in the boat where, nope, you're part of the game. You're inside the permission slip. You're part of the game. You're able to get hit for the World Cup. However, though, I think Mel B is very young still to figure out what position she's going to be playing. You can still have her as a 10. You can still develop her as a striker. You can develop her as a winger still. And it's up to Casey Stoney, especially with this contract extension to 2027. If she stays all the way till then, it's really going to be on her to develop Mel B. And whatever Mel B becomes to be, all credit to her, but it's also credit to Casey Stoney. So I'm very curious to see how Casey Stoney is going to utilize Mel B this upcoming season, because at the end of the day, whether she uses her as a 10, as a striker, as a false 9, as a winger, the U.S. national team could use her as a freaking center midfielder.
Exactly. Like that's part of the situations where she needs to find her place in this team and then kind of grow in that way. And if she's utilized, like I said, elsewhere, then that's positive. That's positive. Interesting, kind of like the semantics, right? Again, thinking about a fellow player in the under-17 World Cup, Duran Farid, right? Like how are you gauging that? How are you gauging performance? Are you going to give kudos for just being in the game, or are you like and being good enough and earning your spot? As you know, we heard that's going to take up in Orange County Monday through Friday. If they do enough and do what they're supposed to be, you're going to get that starting spot, and that's going to be enough credit to earn you, some respect and some eyes in the terms of like, okay, cool, that's a cap. It's not just an empty cap and not empty calories. Like you actually contributed, you did well. And Duran certainly got some of those. And how you gauge those in terms of those two positions are, night and day in a lot of ways. But we're going to keep an eye on that, especially with how people develop. Abraham here said Mexico, USA, February 26th.
Women's Gold Cup, man. That's going to be in LA.
That's going to be a good one
to keep an eye on for sure.
I'm interested to see like how many people come up with that one.
It's
the game's growing. Like again, that's a really cool like opportunity.
Angel City puts good numbers in their stadium, so I'm confident that even if I'm not sure if it's going to be in the Dignity Health or
screw it, throw it in the Coliseum, bro. The 100K.
The fan base for Angel City and maybe even Wave will meet together and put on a good showing, attendance wise. I think. I wish that game would be in San Diego. Maybe it's one that we're able to drive up to. But yeah, it's exciting that all the soccer that we're going to be having here in San Diego coming up in February with the Women's Gold Cup. So stay tuned for that. Tony, was there anything else you wanted to mention about San Diego Wave before we move on?
I'm excited, man. Like the season's coming up and, everything's getting back together. I miss going to games. I miss covering games.
Yeah.
This season, what we're going to go ahead and do is probably do some post-match games directly after the matches, maybe a little bit more on the away games. Post-matches as far as what we saw, discussions, if people want to join in. I know the Sirens. We're going to go ahead and once again feature coming up. I just want an excuse to put it. The Call of Sirens, that's going to be a segment that's going to be coming up and really just growing this as much as we can together, because this is the show that's going to happen in 2024. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great time for people to enjoy soccer here in San Diego.
It's going to be a great time if the team plays good.
That too.
Same old thing that we're going to go back to. The team has to play good. The team has to win games.
Yeah.
For it to be a fun conversation, because if not, the conversation will still be held.
It's a different conversation.
Exactly. And it's one that sometimes doesn't make people too happy, but it needs to be half. It needs to be had.
I will say really quickly,
this was amazing.
I will give comments and kudos to Lindsey Horan. You saw this?
Yeah, that American soccer fans, they aren't smart. So if you're an American soccer fan, just know that she doesn't think you're smart.
And I think that's mostly just kind of like,
it's really what we started this freaking podcast for, which was to educate people that were not aware of different things and aspects of the game, right? It's part of the thing I remember when you told me, man, like we get to educate these people and learning the game. And this is essentially the people she's talking about.
Yeah. And it's a great article by Steph Yang. Steph Yang, we see her on a lot of the San Diego Wave calls, doing great work. And
met her in person in the WSL Championship.
Yes. I met her at the night before, the media scrum for media. But no, it's an interesting take, and I think it's not exclusive to the women's game, the men's game. It's just the game, and I really don't also want to put my nose up and be like, oh, it's because I know so much more about the game, and I know so much more of the pageantry and the semantics and the way that the ball must traverse the pitch, and even saying pitch and getting mad when I say field or logo and crest. Like, Yeah, those words have.
Vergas, güey, es porque eres mexicano y sabes cómo hablar de pinche fútbol, carajo.
Yeah, no, it's
Porque jugaste en pinches terrenos de tierra
because
toda tu
we
vida,
played.
güey. That's why you know soccer, man.
No, exactly. In the
Football.
context that she was speaking in, she isn't wrong, and that's absolutely correct. And I wish more people would kind of point that out, because again, that's what makes these conversations.
But everybody gets offended, Tony.
Jesus. I was not expecting that. These are the conversations that essentially bring about better conversations as far as like what people want to see
It's only
in
to grow
terms of the
game.
soccer coverage.
It's only to grow the game.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I don't know. There's flashing lights out there.
I think that's my neighbors, hopefully, just kind of backing up.
Oh, okay, cool.
Beep, beep.
Awesome.
Context
We're in a garage.
in a garage, and that's where we like it. Hopefully, everybody's staying dry out there.
There's no leaks, at least, in this garage, which
Yeah,
I love. It's
for now.
nice.
Let us know if you guys are safe, warm, dry, where you guys are watching us today, tomorrow, whatever it is. Just shout out to you guys.
But yeah, San Diego Wave, they're having quite an off season as well. So stay tuned tomorrow for the Jaden Shaw presser. It's going to be exciting to see where her head at.
Where her head at?
Where her head is at.
Where her head at, homie?
The times that we've had Jaden Shaw for media, she's usually very shy. She usually struggles in answering some questions, but it'll be interesting to see where she's at right now.
We got to help her out sometimes. We got to set her up for success.
100%. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and transition over to our SDFC segment of the show. And we're going to kickstart it with Tony. We love Esco Day. You were in Escondido, my friend, for the Chrome Ball Tour.
The Chrome Ball Tour. The Chrome Ball Tour made its second stop in Escondido, as you were mentioning. That's the home for a lot of people who I might not run into a lot, because it's a different part of the city. ¿Qué pasó?
I just thought of like a great merch idea for SDFC that they should do. They need to do miniature Chrome balls. That'd be fucking sick. That'd be fucking sick. I'm sorry.
Our marketing department has come together here live, and you heard it first. I know people all have connections. Chrome ball, mini Chrome ball. Just throw that out there, and I think people, I agree, will buy those. Somebody's gonna say we're already in production.
Yeah,
show me your receipts. Show me your receipts.
That would be pretty cool, though. Not gonna lie, I would probably buy the one just for the setup of this studio wise.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. All right, so Escondido was again not my community. I'm South Bay, and I was
drive up.
I drove up. The last time I drove,
I can't say Esco because I feel like that's a local thing from Escondido. So do you drive a lot to Escondido?
The last time I went to Escondido was when I went to the Humane Society to spay my dog. And she was sad after and had a cone of shame. And was just looking down for like 3 days. It's just like, what happened?
I have to spay my cats.
Cats don't have feelings, so it's okay.
She'll still get a period.
So I what? Oh, Jesus. What? There's children watching.
Okay.
Geez. So I did see something. I did see was a lot of familiar faces, and not necessarily familiar faces of people I know, just familiar faces of like, huh, I recognize that type of person. I recognize that type of Mexican. I recognize that. I recognize that type of curiosity and like a cheese man. Like, what's going on?
Let me guess. Oh, I feel like no sepa qué es ponte.
Yeah. What's going on here? I don't know.
There's a line.
Let's
get in the line.
Let's just stand in line. We are good at standing in lines. But I did
mention to me that they sold out, right, from their Escondido shirts.
Immediately sold out. We were trying to get some. We're trying to get connected with some. Just to get some to you guys.
We can't if it sells out. So
which is good. Kudos
shit,
to them. Kudos to them. Escondido really came and showed out. It was funny because at some point there was while I was circling and trying to find parking, we saw picketers that were doing in their suits, and they had signs and palabra de Jesús, literally. Palabra de Dios. Aquí es posible. It is possible. The mighty, all-powerful guy above, and doing their thing. And
that was amazing.
it was great because I saw them put down their signs because they were there for a while before, and then just naturally just go into the event. And
Were they promoting during the event?
Huh?
Were they just part of the event?
They were not part of the event.
But no, were they promoting in the event?
No, they
Oh, okay, cool.
Listen. They put their signs down and they
Gotcha,
went and they
gotcha.
enjoyed some soccer
That's
and
cool.
they enjoyed some like, what is this? And
Pinche
that
raza,
was
everyone loves
that was
fucking
really
soccer.
cool. Like, look, man, like you
Pinche raza
see
chingona.
that in Mexico, like straight up. There's a lot of non-English speaking Mexican people up there, and it's really cool to be able to see that. And they genuinely came out, and that's why I was inspired, because last week you did the reportaje de Chiva, the Chiva report. This time around, I'm like, yeah, all right, what can I do? And I just went the classic,
reporter
classic way. If we're journalists, then let's go ahead and act like it, right? Sometimes. This was the Chrome Ball Tour little what's it? Oh my god. Vitrina. See? I'm already in Spanish mode.
Let's check it out.
You're right, Chiva. Let's
definitely
check it out right now.
Man,
warning.
I really like this video. It's in Espanol.
Warning, it is in Spanish. But I'll come back to it. De Escondido, en asociación con Street Soccer USA y San Diego FC, anunció hoy la inauguración oficial del Street Soccer USA Park en Escondido, la primera instalación de fútbol de su tipo en la región. Las recién creadas instalaciones de fútbol callejero albergarán juegos gratuitos todos los días, así como programación durante todo el año sin costo alguno para la comunidad local. Las canchas se inaugurarán como parte del Love Esco Day y resaltarán el compromiso de la ciudad, de Street Soccer USA y San Diego FC de ampliar el acceso al fútbol y lugares seguros para jugar en toda la ciudad y la región. Gracias al fuerte respaldo de la comunidad y el apoyo de la ciudad de Escondido, Street Soccer Park será un motivo de orgullo comunitario y reunirá a los residentes locales para salir y jugar. Para San Diego.Fútbol, desde Escondido, Tony Sánchez.
How many takes did that take you?
That took about 30 takes. It took about...
Wait, so say you had the first half down and the second part you kind of fucked up. You did it all over again?
I needed to do it all together.
Gotcha.
Yes, Jeff. The vignette is definitely the word. How did I not see you? I left right as you guys got there. I was there for a little bit. People are really liking the mini Chrome Ball idea. Cisco Sanchez.
Take a 1% royalty for that.
No, you better get more. Cisco Sanchez saying that we always represent.
Right,
are you the person that I saw, Fernandez? Again, I'm really curious about that person who just came up, and I'm Escondido, like I was looking my worst, but that's really cool. 8%. That's a good number. I like that.
There you go. SDFC, hit me up. Giving you guys ideas.
That's a steak as your profile picture. I approve. But
so
no.
Overall, the event. I mean, did you like it? Did you have fun? It's the first one you go to.
I enjoyed it. I liked it. It was a lot of really seeing.
It had a very street flow vibe, right?
It had a very street flow vibe. It's a lot of the same things that we've seen.
Yeah,
that's not necessarily a bad thing, because what ended up happening is that the event itself is exactly what it's been. And exactly what I thought it was going to be in a good way, because you're showcasing this and you really want to showcase the community. And I think that's something that SDFC is doing well. And that's just that ambition of wanting to, and this is the word that Paul Naku's post kind of ignited, as far as like, the ambition is very, very well executed, as far as wanting to roll out into these different communities and have them showcase themselves. I didn't feel like it was more of a SDFC event, as it was equal to a soccer event. It was equal to an Escondido event. The community really came out. I was really impressed by it in terms of like the people who came out and really enjoyed it. Like, look, they sold out of those shirts, and kudos, because that's great. Like it's positive for the community to be able to really showcase that. Yeah, no, you're growing and people are recognizing it, and you got the boom like that the sticker right here of the local artist who came out, Aled, who I talked to a little bit. The audio was a little wonky in Spanish because I took him away because he had his table where he was selling his art, and just talking about and having a great conversation. People came up and it was funny because we were having a conversation and we didn't notice, and so an older couple came up and was like, oh, like what is this? And so my girlfriend stepped up and like sold some stickers. And so it's like, yeah, no, like that was really cool. And I'm like, look, I'm taking too much time from you. I don't want to take away an opportunity for you to talk about your art and really discuss it.
¿Te casas compraron el dinero?
Let me share just some of the video, if not the video here of SDFC with Aled.
I grew up, heavily influenced by Latin American street art and graffiti, skateboarding culture and all those graphics. Once you're exposed to this, you see it out in the real world and you connect to it even like stronger. My name's Aled Anaya and I was born and raised here in Escondido, California. I currently create murals and teach a graphic arts program for high school students. With the art piece that I created to represent Escondido and the thriving soccer community, like with all my artworks, I try to capture the influence of my culture.
I have to say that the detail that went into this logo, into this crest, into this creation is fantastic.
Is it fair to compare this one to the Oceanside one?
No, it's not.
No,
it's not fair because it's completely different. Look, if you're
you can say which one
curating artwork for the San Diego Soccer Museum, you can have a Van Gogh hanging with a Picasso, hanging with a Jackson Pollock. Do you know who Jackson Pollock is?
No, but I feel like you're gonna show me.
Chiculero. You don't know Jackson Pollock? Jackson Pollock?
No mames, that looks like a third grader made it.
Excuse you?
Te crees,
Jackson, the great Jackson Pollock.
Relájate.
Look at that.
Oh.
I agree though. The third, it's anger. It's actually, they're huge. And you can have a Liechtenstein. You can have a Andy Warhol. You can have a sculpture in the same museum.
I forget you fucking took AP art history in high school.
Passed the test.
Oh,
damn right. And it was fantastic. And look, it's one of my favorite designs that's come out of SDFC, anything related in general. There I did see a heavy contingency says give that man the crest to do over a lot, like they wish they would have had him created, and some of the other artists that are upcoming.
You're having local people do the artwork for this Chrome Ball tour. Maybe you could have had the local do the crest, but it's in the past. Move forward. You learn from mistakes sometimes.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, look, that's what it's going to be, and if the team that's representing this isn't good, then that's a different conversation. But no, I spoke to Aled just about him coming up in general here in San Diego, and he has a studio over in Escondido where he teaches the youth. Kind of went back and forth of like, hey, we both teach kids, and his heart is really in the right place, just in general. But something that really again stuck to me is that fact that this event showcased Escondido. Escondido came out. It was in alongside Love Esco Day. The gameplay was great. There was different courts, 40 teams, and I actually found out that they allowed more than 40 teams because they had such a demand for it. And so
really,
yeah, so there was around 50 some teams that ended up playing. So
awesome.
It's good, positive community work. Shout out to everybody involved. I know our pal, he's been on front of the podcast, DK, had a lot to do with this event.
Yeah, he did.
So shout out to him. The images that are coming out are fantastic in terms of like the optics. Soccer's ¿cómo se llama? ¿Cómo se llama? Not Street Soccer USA. Street Soccer USA? Street Soccer USA. Because I was like, I translated it. Did well partnering here with SDFC and Escondido. The field looks great. Some people were asking like, why is the field so narrow? It was a tennis field, a tennis court, 2 tennis courts that literally got converted. And that's what you get. Like
That's pretty
you,
fucking dope.
you work with what you have, and that's why these 2 fields are as narrow as they are. You can play.
Hey man, when it comes to soccer, you literally can play anywhere. It doesn't matter how narrow it is. It doesn't matter how wide it is. All you need is a freaking goal that doesn't even have a net. It can be 2 rocks put together. Literally, all you need is 2 rocks and a ball, and you can have yourself a game.
No, and it's really cool to see the images that are coming out. It's just, literally street soccer. It's all courtesy of SDFC. The ribbon cutting was great. They had some games first, and then they cut the ribbon, ceremonial cut. But overall, a good event. The optics are good. The kits are great. Overall, also met SDFC Fancast, up and
shout
coming
out, SDFC Fancast.
podcast.
I think that was a question earlier. What were our thoughts on? On all these new podcasts popping up, and I think it's great. I don't know if you can find the comment. Thoughts on the new SDFC podcast from Jeff. Yeah, big shout out to SDFC Fancast for dropping already 4 or 5 episodes. Yeah, doing fan things, and it's great.
It's fantastic. Look, you have different contingencies that are coming up. I know the locals are doing their thing, and their membership just came out, so check that out. The Riptide sold 50 scarves. The Chavos are still doing their thing, Chavos things, and
shout out to Kevin, who was featured in
that was
Selección.
That was a while back. Yeah. It was really cool. Just kind of being able to see how it's all coming together, being able to see how the people who are wanting to really to really make this community what it is, and what a reflection of what it's been. And that's great. I think this event really gave that aspect of reflecting the community, and that's all I can really say about that and ask for. So any last thoughts on that? Look, it's fine. I enjoy it. I like it. Let's keep it going. Shout out to the SDFC Fancast.
If you guys need help out with anything, let us know. We're here to help out. We're here to promote it.
That's what I told them, and kind of, hey, what are you using? Like what platform, with this, with that? And those are the conversations that we had at the beginning. Just YouTube it, and YouTube University will get you far. It used to be a park you avoided. Needles. Needless I was like, no, not needles.
Probably.
Needless to say, on the grounds, gangs, homeless, etc. It was great to see so much life in the park, and that's the story of a lot of public parks here in San Diego in general, and that's in every community. So, look, Linda Vista had a gang fight in the middle of Street Flow, and that's part of it. I don't wish this on anybody or anything, but if these competitive street soccer matches get a little bit too competitive, chingadazos, there's going to be fisticuffs, there's going to be emotions are going to run high, and that's
it's part of the freaking
it's part of the game. It's part of it.
The game, man.
It brings a smile. Just
sportsmanship is big, and we're all that, but man, people get heated when it comes to pickup games, and shit's gonna happen sometimes. So hope they're prepared for that. I'm sure they are. You would assume.
Yeah, no, I really.
Where's it gonna be the first Chrome Ball tour?
Don't be National City. Don't be National City. Don't be National City. Don't be National City.
It's gonna be National City.
Be Chula Vista. Please be Chula. I will personally. I will be at these South Bay events, and I'm just gonna be like, guys, no, por favor,
Oh
please.
Man, there's a good chance it's Chula Vista. There's a good chance.
There's a good chance.
National City, though.
There's a good chance it doesn't happen, and everybody is happy and smiles around. Happy soccer time.
Happy. In a perfect world. But anything else from the Chrome Ball tour, Tony? Was it everything you expected and more?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the weather. It seems like the weather is really kind of helping them out, like to stop raining just for that specific day, which is really good for them. The Chrome Ball Tour will be making its Magical Mystery Tour through San Diego. Next stop is going to be at Poway. That's going to have more details to come over at MLS, our MLS.com.
I believe it's going to be the 17th, right? February 17th. So not this Saturday, the next Saturday, which is one that we might be able to both be there, right?
Which one?
February 17th, right? Is that? Uh-oh.
Probably.
All right.
Poway.
Love it.
Interesting. I don't know much about Poway. I'm really looking into learning
How
what
far is Poway?
it's pretty far. Like, I mean, it's literally everything is far from where we are as the most southwesternly podcast in the nation.
Gotcha. Yep.
Unless there's a podcast that happens 3 blocks that way or 5 blocks
No
that way
traffic, 30, 40 minutes. Okay.
right now.
Yeah, 38 minutes
All
right
right.
now.
Well,
Probably more with the
I
rain.
doubt the Chrome Ball tour will be at 8:53 p.m.
100%. 100%.
But yeah.
Lots of traffic for the Oceanside one. But yeah, 45 minutes. Dude. Esteban knows all the times. He's just everywhere.
You know why? Esteban is up and at 'em when it comes to
Well, yeah, because he has to record his videos North County because there's nothing south.
that's very true. At North County Soccer Park.
What's the best one? USD? UCS? USD?
Yeah, I mean, and that's
SDSU,
because
the turf
that's at the
field?
8, bro. Again, like
I know.
South Bay,
South
like
Bay has.
north of the 8, just like
Really not
everything's
much,
foreign
Esteban.
south of the 8. I'm curious to see if people are going to be over there. Indoor soccer facility. Interesting.
I'm interested to see the Santee one, what it's going to be like. It's going to be at the sports complex over there. And if you played in the indoor league over there at the sports complex, I mean, great facility that Santee has. They have their little middle hub that sells pizza, food, beer. I'm excited to see what that one's going to be like. They have the softball leagues, the indoor soccer league. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But other than that, are you ready to move on from the Chrome Ball tour, Tony?
I think so. Anything else, guys, in the comments?
Anything
you guys
else?
liked it? You guys enjoyed it? Keep the
We're-
conversation going.
We're
'cause-
gonna dive into some MLS talk still right now because
Ooh.
there's things happening, right? We have the
Ooh.
Conca Champions happening this week. So the reason we're talking about this, teams, MLS teams that are going to be rivals of the SDFC teams. We want to see what they're able to do when it comes to competing against other teams when it comes to CONCACAF, right? So Conca Champions is happening. There's 2 tournaments. There's the Conca Champions. There's also the Leagues Cup. So many cups, so many tournaments. Which one matters? Which one doesn't? I think at the end of the day, you want to win what you're playing, right?
Mhm.
So Conca Champions, round 1 happening this week, where we have
Yeah, share.
games. No, I'm not sharing it. I don't know if you want to share it. It's just the Google page, but only one MLS team playing this week, which is Vancouver against Tigres. So
Mhm.
we're gonna see. Okay, Tigres, one of the powerhouses of the Liga MX, against Vancouver. How good is Vancouver in the MLS? Have you heard of Vancouver much? They weren't really in the playoffs, were they?
Oh, you're
I'm
asking
you.
me?
Yeah,
The in-house MLS expert?
yeah.
The in-house no, I mean, the last time I saw them play in person was actually against San Diego Loya USD. Haven't really seen them play much in person.
But it's gonna be interesting to see what Tigres come up with and with the lineups.
Look,
that they
Tigres
come
is
up with.
that place. And again, if we're talking about Vancouver, I really thought you were kidding because Vancouver was so bad last year. Like I thought you were kidding, but no, Vancouver was ass.
They're terrible.
They played like ass. I realized that there's a difference between being ass and playing like ass.
It's those Canadian teams, you know. I'm just kidding.
And it's the colloquial is different if you had a 2 in front of that pejorative word. But they were 14th in the Western Conference, bottom of the barrel. So not very good as opposed to Tigres, who, as you may know, beat Chivas recently.
That was already 2 tournaments ago. Let's move.
Oh,
on
we
from
already
that.
forgot about it. All right, cool.
Se ganó la América la pasada.
We got bounced by LAFC. For an MLS team, you can win MLS Cup Supporter Shield, the US Open, Coca. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
That's more than the average.
Great comment here,
like,
Procrastinating Puma. So for those of you who are keeping score, it's like whose line is it anyway? The points don't matter at the end of the day. It's all made up and the points don't matter. For the MLS team, so let's just put this in the realm of San Diego FC in 2025.
Yeah.
They have the opportunity to be MLS Cup champions, win the Supporter Shield, best team in the regular season, US Open Cup, biggest tournament, longest going lasting tournament in the world, soccer wise. CONCACAF champions, La Conca Champions Cup.
I don't think if they would qualify for Conca Champions being an expansion
Okay,
team, or unless they get invited to.
2025. Okay.
Maybe
okay.
they get invited to it. You never know.
Yeah, so stranger things have happened. Qatar played in a Gold Cup.
Yeah. Exactly. So
Mexico played in a couple of Copa Americas down south. Like,
yeah, there you go. They can't win CONCACAF Champions League or Campeones Cup until at least 2026. You have to earn a spot into that. So
yeah, and then you can also win Campeones Cup. Leagues.
Pretty sure they'll be in the
Leagues
Leagues
Cup.
Cup.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
pretty
100%.
sure that'll happen. But yeah, CONCACAF Champions League. Sometimes it's viewed as a joke unless you're the team that wins it. It's kind of like one of those tournaments, right? So, granted, before the CONCACAF Champions League champion would go to the Club World Cup, which is also going to get rebranded and just kind of in a different basis. But then we have the Leagues Cup, which is a new and recent tournament, which the conspiracy says that it was created for Messi to win it. You have 7 groups in the East of 3 teams in each group. So that's 21 teams. You have 8 groups on the West with 3 teams in each group. So that's 24 plus 21. Tony?
I did not listen to those numbers.
21 plus 24? 45.
45. Oh,
Yes.
you struggle with that?
No,
Okay, you were
pointed
quizzing
at
me.
you for the bit.
45.
45. Thank you. Chivas is in this tournament, so I'm gonna be paying attention, Tony. Inter Miami will be playing against Tigres in the East Group 3.
I love that.
It's kind of awkward. Again, if you're one of our audio listeners,
you miss so
make sure-
much.
You miss so much,
Or you miss.
or
You know,
don't
yeah,
miss
you
anything.
miss a lot. No, you miss a lot. It's fine.
Do you have any thoughts on the Leagues Cup, especially just seeing what we saw last year? What should we expect? Maybe is this relevant? At the end of the day, I feel like what matters is winning your freaking tournament. Like being first place, winning the Shield is so important. But when it comes to this teams and this league, you have playoffs, so you want to win that. Compared to Wave, right? You technically were the best team in the season. You just couldn't win the.
It just feels like so many opportunities to give consolation prizes to teams that don't deserve it.
Oof.
And that's the reality. Like, let's just make up a tournament.
But then you have
put 'em in
great
together.
stories.
They have great stories, but the thing about the
You
league,
can't sell Chicharito's gonna play LA Galaxy in the Leagues Cup. Like they're in the same group.
yeah,
Cade Cowell is gonna play San Jose Earthquakes. Is this not fixed? Absolutely not.
yeah, no, I don't think we're allowed to infer that. But no, I mean it's true. I think there's way too many tournaments at this point, and I think that at the end of the day, if the storyline kind of keeps going, where like last year, every single Liga MX team thought that there was a giant coup against them and wanted and was going to do their darnest to make them lose. There was airport travel issues, flights were canceled. It really interfered with their regular season. Some say injuries had a lot to do with that too. And is there such thing as too much soccer? Maybe. And that's just in terms of like, man, there's no need to put these players through so much. But then again, you put it on the other side, right? Like, do you then play your youngsters? Do you get them some important minutes, some important time? Maybe again, a Leagues Cup, you see more Joe Corona that you might in the regular Liga MX. All these things to consider. We're going to follow the actual action once these things start rolling, and as it pertains to San Diego soccer and just MLS in general, because this is going to be important coming up. You got to know your enemy. You got to know who's coming in against SDFC. So we're going to go ahead and make sure to keep an eye out for that. Anything else, sir?
Pinche Leagues Cup. Wait, no man. So many tournaments. It's crazy. But that's kind of wraps it up for our MLS segment, tagging it along with SDFC.
Perfect.
You know what we had coming up, Tony?
What?
The World Cup. It's right around the corner. It is right around the corner, Tony. 2026 couldn't get any closer. Yes, I'm going. We had the World Cup schedule for 2026 drop, Tony.
Yes, we do. Got a link for that?
Yeah, I do.
Throw it up. Throw it up. Thank you again for those of you who are joining us here on the chat. It's a really big deal to have everybody enjoy their Mondays here, and it's rainy day here in San Diego. It's been fun. Stay warm, stay dry out there.
So we have here, Tony.
Oh, there it is.
From the official FIFA website.
Der Humping.
3 countries: Canada, Mexico, US. 104 fixtures, 48-team event. 13 of those games are going to be played in Mexico, including the inaugural game. Mexico gets to play in the first game of the World Cup in 2026 in the Estadio Azteca. And I believe I saw a comment that said they're the first nation to get to host the inaugural game for 3 different World Cups.
World Cups, yeah.
So kudos to Mexico. I mean, the 2 legendary World Cups they had where
You did
Pelé
it.
won, Maradona won. Congrats. Get to the freaking 5th game, right? 13 matches are going to be playing in Canada, Vancouver, and Toronto. The Mexico games are going to be in Estadio Azteca, which is Mexico City, Monterrey, and Guadalajara, Estadio Akron, Chivas Stadium. Beautiful stadium. I want you to see that stadium.
Estadio Akron. I mean, yeah, I'm down. I'm down to go see the World Cup. And again, this kind of brings it all back into like, well, this started as a way to get the World Cup, get World Cup passes and really see that. I want to zoom in just a little bit on that. There you go, so people can see it. So here's the kind of like the breakdown of all these. Are these all the matches?
These are all the matches.
Interesting.
These are all the matches. There, no semifinal matches will be held in Mexico. I think from round 32, or just playoffs in general. Mexico has 1, 2, 3 games total when it comes to playoffs. Canada will have 1, 2, 3 playoff games as well, and the rest will be played in the U.S. Granted, the U.S. has a lot more space, a lot more states, a lot more cities. And they technically were the main host, but it is what it is. 2 games in June 11th. It's a Thursday. You're going to have the Mexico game at the Estadio Azteca, and then you're going to have a second match at Estadio Akron in Guadalajara. So you get 2 games on the inaugural day, and then from there you get 2 more games the day after that, and then from there we're going to go to 4 games a day, which is different than before. Before it was 3 days, so now you get an extra game to watch.
A lot of soccer. The World Cup is going to be something that, again, our main goal is to get. I don't know what it is that we want to get. World Cup final? World Cup final would be great.
Yeah.
Credentialed.
Going to New York, New Jersey?
Yeah. I'd love that. And we'll bring everybody along on the journey.
I would love that.
That's
You
what
would
this
show me
journey is
around
about.
New York, right?
Yes. I'd point. It'd be a waste to take you to a museum.
I actually fucking love museums, so screw you for that.
Oh,
I've
man.
gone to museums.
Estado Caliente wasn't good enough? Absolutely not.
Nah, that's a turf field.
That turf field. That was a
field
good
is
conversation I had
terrible.
with Would you hear that?
Yeah, I hear the. I think it's the wind pushing something maybe outside.
I hope so.
Again, we're in a garage and it's
I
raining
hope
pretty
so.
hard.
I'm just not a poor little animal outside.
But now you got me thinking. You want to go check it out? No, it's raining. Don't go outside yet.
But if it's an animal.
¿Vas a salvar el animal?
Here. We'll do this.
What are we gonna do?
Here. I think we can do this. And then there you go.
Oh, there we go. All right. But yeah, Estadio Caliente, no chance they have no chance they were ever gonna get a chance to have a World Cup game. Other than that, I mean, you look at different cities, right? LA with SoFi is going to be having eventually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches in LA, which is crazy, especially because we're here in San Diego. LA is the closest thing where you're gonna get to go watch a World Cup game if you're going as a fan, if you're going as anything. You have 8 opportunities to go watch. LA, the US team will play their first game in LA, which is the following day, which is going to be that Friday, June 12th. So if you're a US supporter, you can go to LA and you're going to get to watch the US in the first group stage of the 2026 World Cup at SoFi Stadium. Other than that, more convenient ways to go if you're from San Diego to go watch the World Cup, Tony. It costs $100 round trip to cross to CBX if you have a passport. CBX is the bridge that just kind of combines the Otay area with the Tijuana airport. $100 round trip. The average flight right now, I mean, that's right now. The prices will probably hike up as the World Cup approaches, but you can always schedule flights ahead. Average flight to Guadalajara is $200 to $300.
That's not bad.
Round trip.
And yeah, no,
Same
there's going to
thing
be a
for
lot
Mexico
of price gauging. Like it's going to be the prices are going to take a hike, but
Get
it's still
your
going to be
flights.
cheap.
Get your flights through a third party. It would always be the cheapest thing. Pack light, just a personal thing. Especially if you're trying to save money on traveling for the World Cup. We've never gotten to experience this.
Mhm.
It's usually trying to travel to Russia or something when you have to spend a lot more money on a flight. We have it here. You have it at an affordable thing where you can drive to San Francisco if you have to. You can drive to Seattle if you want to, right? Flying to Miami is not the priciest sometimes, but it's across the state. It's a long flight, but it's possible to do when you're here. That's Tony still searches if it's a puppy. It's not a puppy.
Might be a rat, bro.
Yikes. Inside? No. I
No.
hope not.
I hope not either.
Anyways,
Hopefully, you found that lemon I threw at you the other day. Two balls and a mic on tour. I like that. Opening game, Mexico City. Again, we will try our darnest to get this done and really take everybody through the experience. And that's what the dream is, to go with a press pass and be able to experience a World Cup game. And you know what? If that World Cup game ends up being Canada versus Trinidad, no, it's a CONCACAF versus CONCACAF violence. Let's see. Let's pick something else. New Zealand made to this World Cup. New Zealand versus South Korea.
have you seen all the memes of especially people from Mexico saying, ¿Quién vendió la casa?
Yeah,
Yo con mi muchachas de Suiza que no sé qué en el estadio. It's
you
so
can translate
funny.
that.
Man, you put me on the spot and I get nervous.
Okay.
Who sold the house? Me at Estadio Akron for watching Zimbabwe against New Zealand. Those are some of the matches that eventually we'll get to see. It's still World Cup. It's
I like
still
that. It's
exciting.
still a World Cup.
It's a chance of a lifetime. It's not every time you're gonna have the World Cup in your nation. So
Yeah, and it's almost here, so that's going to be something to look forward to. Two balls and a mic, and San Diego Punto Football trying to make that leap, and we're gonna rely on some help from the people who have listened and supported us throughout this time, and we're gonna let those opportunities come as they reveal themselves. So thank you guys who have been supporting us. World Cup.
yeah, 100%. So I think it's a good time to start transitioning to our players abroad segment. There's a lot of things that happen, a lot of movement, especially this week. We're gonna start out with one that I wanted to highlight. Ex San Diego Loyal player Joe Benny Corona got his first start back with Cholos in a 3-2 loss against Pachuca. Got substituted in the second half, but he did finally get a start for Los Cholos Quintles de Tijuana in an away match against Pachuca. It'll be very nice to see. I mean, you see Joe Corona right there in the middle. Tony's going to share this picture right now directly from the Cholos Twitter account. See him in the middle. Good, right? You saw him playing literally this past year at Torero Stadium, and now he's playing in the Liga MX starting. Did they win? No, but damn, he's playing with Chuy Corona.
Chuy Corona is playing with Joe Corona, Joe Benny Corona. Meeting of the Coronas, the Crowns in Tijuana.
Legends, honestly.
But again, it's the level and dedication that he's been able to bring, and was really impressive what he was able to show at his age here in San Diego Loyal. And he told us when we interviewed him is that he wanted to play in MLS, and he wanted an MLS team here in San Diego. So now there is going to be one. Does that mean he's going to be a signing? He's just extending and just being having that last push to make it sure that he's on a San Diego FC roster. That's going to be incredibly interesting. But yeah, the Olympics are coming up. Apply as a volunteer. I'd love to, and even apply as media for
soccer
matches, because the Olympics do have soccer matches. But yeah, so Joe Corona getting that. That's pretty cool. Shout out to him. What else do we have locally, Chiva?
Brandon Vasquez got a start. He's been starting regularly for Monterrey now, but they had one of their toughest games in the season against defending champions America. Those of you who know America, we hate them here. But anyways, it was a 1-1 tie, close match. Brandon Vasquez did get the start there. He did not get a goal. But again, playing against America is not easy, right? They're definitely one of the most stacked teams. They're the top dog. There was a picture on Twitter that was going around comparing Liga MX teams with Premier League teams, and that kind of was very accurate, if you ask me. It was very cool. It compared America with Manchester City, which is actually no. America was Liverpool. I had sent it to you. Yes, actually, I can pull it up.
Yeah, please. I love optics.
I know. It was very cool because you had like, let me share this real quick.
Just
for
like
you, Tony.
who would be which team? This would be the middle of the road team in
Here you
Liga
go.
MX.
Those of you who really don't know Liga MX, this kind of does pinpoint it a lot better. I can't zoom in on this because it's a tweet.
Ah!
I'll stop sharing.
Estúpido.
Pull up your picture.
No, I'm not going to pull up the
America
picture
with
anymore.
Liverpool, Chivas with Manchester United. That
Pull it
one
up
pick.
again. Just fix it. That was funny.
Yeah, it was.
The little pinguito.
America with Liverpool, Chivas with Manchester United, Tigres with Manchester City.
The little penguin. That was not okay, Mr. Penguin.
Oh, it's not. Oh, man.
Oh yeah, but yeah, this gives us a line by line. Let's see: Liverpool, America,
It's
Atlas,
pretty accurate. Cruz Azul
Albion.
being Arsenal.
Chivas being Manchester City,
No,
and Manchester
being Man
United hurts a little bit.
It does hurt, but it's fucking accurate.
Arsenal, being Cruz Azul, they always make it but never win. I like that. No, stop.
Santos is Chelsea.
Santos is Chelsea. Had a good run there. Had a good run there with some really good teams.
Get this, Cholos is Sheffield United.
Yikes! Yikes!
Oh,
Wait, you said Toluca. It's Toluca is Chelsea.
Santos is Aston Villa. I forget they have the same freaking logo.
Yeah, no, I hate that.
Yeah.
How dare they?
Toluca is Chelsea. That's pretty accurate. That's cool. That's very cool. I
I
like it.
it.
Yeah.
Check it out.
But anyways, moving back to the players.
Thank God. Pinguinito.
We go across the Atlantic Ocean, Tony, with Europe. Mia Fischel got her start again in the Champions League in their 4-0 win against Paris FC.
This does not bode well for Sheffield United. Yeah, no, it does not. Sorry. Good comment.
Paris has two women's teams. They have Paris FC and PSG, but
Mhm.
Chelsea in their dominant 4-0 win. Mia Fischel got a goal, her first Champions League goal of her career. Big day for Big Fish going. She didn't start in their match yesterday against Everton. They did win 3-0. She came on as a sub. You have to give players rest, especially when you're playing midweek games starting. You can't start them every freaking week. You're going to end up burning out your players.
Mhm. Load management.
Big shout out to Mia Fischel as we.
Have you done your taxes?
I already did my taxes.
Damn.
Have you done your taxes?
No, I don't partake in that. No.
Okay, Messi.
It's all good. I can get my what's it called? I can get my lawyers involved. Stall it a little bit. All right, let's share this real quick.
Pinguinito.
Yeah, Pinguinito la mató.
No one picking up Jankovic. It's a nice drop of the shoulder.
Dios.
See you later. Julie
Why?
Soye. Official. Oh, it's in.
Official in between the
It's
legs.
gone through.
That's what Big Fish does.
Maybe the leg.
He's a great header.
Another
He must
soft
use
goal
her
to
head to
concede. Chelsea right
make
there.
this scores goals.
That's surely done it.
Yeah,
Whatever
the
happens
first one
in
in
the other
Champions
game,
League from a San Diego
looks like
player.
Paris are
Is that the
qualifying
first
now.
Champions League goal by a San Diego player ever?
619 Soccer. You're on
Let
it.
us know. 619 Soccer. You're on the clock here. He'll probably watch and let us know.
Yeah,
later.
no, 100%. That was
But big shout out to being official doing that. Then we go over to Spain, Tony. Luca de la Torre, on and off, usual starter for Celta Vigo in La
Mhm.
Liga. Finally gets a goal in La Liga and another assist in the same game in a 3-0 win against Osasuna. Big shout out to Luca de la Torre, who's most likely going to be in the World Cup squad for the U.S. men's national team,
Mhm.
along with Brandon Vasquez as well. Joe Corona, probably not.
yeah, no.
But big San Diego names going to the World Cup for the U.S. men's national team.
And we will follow those San Diego names as we have an interesting comment here by Edwin the Great. The futsal courts in Escondido were my idea. I'll start off with an email to the council member back in 2020. I did hear that email be referenced and Edwin be referenced by the council member in a good speech as they do the
Shout
ribbon
out,
cutting
Edwin. Hell yeah.
to the courts. So shout out to you, dude. That's awesome. I'd love to hear a little bit more. That's fantastic.
And that's what it,
Pereira,
yeah.
Pereira. De la América.
La Sal América, never mind.
No, just
Never
kidding.
mind. Güey. No te creas.
No, but shout out to that growing community and it's
And that's
these
how it
leaders in the
takes.
space that
It takes those
Yep.
emails.
it takes work.
Sending an
It
email
takes
work.
work.
That's why we're very proud of Rich Mercado and Paul, the work that they've been doing, the brand that they've been able to build with that, Chicano Futsal as well. But yeah, that's what we have for players abroad, Tony. If you happen to know of other players that are from San Diego that are scoring goals, that are out here performing in the pro level, let us know. We try our best. 609 Soccer.
And yeah,
Big shout out to you for keeping tabs with everyone.
and let
here.
us know too, because again, this next segment will be the final segment, was everybody's kind of really enjoying, is the Juego Bonito goals, gaffes, and greats, which is really, again, send us your highlights. If you know a cousin, if you know a friend, if you scored a goal in Sunday League that gets recorded,
Hey, man,
this is exactly what happened this week, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah. It was from Chula Vista
So
High
with
School.
that, still haven't
Maybe
had
next
music.
week we have the theme song.
Is that? I think that's gonna be the
That's gonna
recurring.
be the
Like,
bit.
no,
Next
like
week.
I pulled it, and it was gonna be the Copa de la Vida, little some whatever. But for now, it's just
Yeah,
right.
so for our Juego Bonito
Stupid.
goals, gaffes, and greats, we're gonna start out with our goal of the week from Chula Vista High School varsity team, Samantha Perez. This was sent to our DMs. I
Ooh.
shared it with you guys. We said, "Hey, local
Is this one, right?
is that one? Yeah, free kick goal.
From downtown. Great goal.
It's a nice free kick, man.
Aquí en China, that's a great free kick. That distance is fantastic.
Let's analyze it, Tony. Is the goalkeeper? I know it's
did
still a
very
little
poor.
zoomed out.
Did very poor. The
Goalkeeper, can you see the goal? Okay,
Yeah, no, I could see the goalkeeper. I mean, it's a really well placed ball. If you kind of see where it ends up, it's top bins. The goalkeeper could have maybe taken a step back instead of taking a step forward, but I don't think it was measured correctly. If you see the trajectory right here, this ball is going to go ahead and travel at a great speed, and it just drops right there. It just starts dropping for the goalkeeper between this frame here. Where is it? This frame there, and then this frame here.
It
Like
does
it
take a
just
big dip.
completely, find it again. It just completely boom, boom, drops from there. That ball's not going, but look at that. The ball just kind of took a turn right there and just went directly into that corner. Fantastic goal.
The
That
goalkeeper
is
didn't time ago. That is the goal of the week. Shout out to Samantha Perez from Chula Vista High School.
Do I have
Do you have what?
I want to see what I have here.
Oh, yeah.
Woo.
Shout
Oh, I
out
like
to-
that. Goal of the week.
Goal of the week, Samantha Perez.
Shout out. All right, cool.
Let's
Goal.
dive into our
Goal. I also up.
Oh,
I
okay,
sent you
okay,
another
okay.
one. No,
where?
I sent it to you.
I did not get that.
I sent it to you. There is another one. There is another one. And this was actually, let's see. Let's throw this over here because we have the capacities to do that. We have the facilities, bruv.
Me mandaste cuándo? Oh, that one. Okay.
All right. So let's see. This one is actually, I love that the name is already on there. Enrique Guerra from Imperial out here showing off is the title of this said video. So let's check it out. Got a ball here. Little Scorpions out the passe, getting around the defender. Ooh, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. All right. So who knows what happened there with that pass? The guy's on the floor, gives a floated pass. Center back completely misses it, but the technique right there. Let me get
Another
that
little touch.
around you. A little flick right there. That's a golazo.
Oh man, that's a defender. That's your worst nightmare, right?
Nope.
Que te hagan el pinche sombrerito. They do the sombrerito on you over the head, and then they still get a little touch to get around your shoulder again. By then, by that sombrerito, that defender should have fouled. I'm sorry. Right
Yeah,
there,
right there,
foul.
foul.
You're gonna get a yellow
Foul.
card. You put your team in a better spot. I don't think you would have been right at that position. There's other
These high
defenders
school
behind them.
coaches or high school referees. Yeah, no, Michael liked that one. Edwin, I love the story here. We always get kicked out of the park by playing soccer up there at Escondido in Washington Park. We need the space to play without getting the cops or Rangers called on Arriba El America. Look, man, it's all good. We cannot. No, it's all good. Hey, look, it was really great to see the community come out and really respond to it. And I love to see that in other places because look, there's a bunch of abandoned tennis courts. I don't know why Kimball Park has so many tennis courts. I don't know why Eucalyptus Park in Chula Vista has so many tennis courts. There's no need for so many tennis courts. And if we can repurpose them for that I'm very, very, very okay with that.
I went to go play at the Eucalyptus
Need work
Park.
on to record on landscape mode. Yep, that's We'll get those fixed. But again, if you know anybody who has a great goal, you scored a great goal here locally, we'd love to go ahead and showcase that. Eventually, we're gonna hopefully do giveaways, and there's gonna be something to look forward to in that sense for goals of the week. All right, gaffs.
Oh, this was an interesting one, right? We ended up deciding on the Messi tour. If you weren't aware, Inter Miami went on tour overseas for their preseason tournament. Something that you normally don't really see from MLS teams. You see it a lot from big Premier League clubs, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, where they do a US tour during the summer, right, as a preseason. And then they end up playing MLS teams, Liga MX teams here in the US just to kind of get things ready. I know some teams sometimes go to Japan and whatnot. Well, Inter Miami decided to do this and go to Saudi Arabia and to different parts of Asia to have friendlies against different teams, right? So essentially we saw a big one that popped up was Inter Miami against Al Nassr. Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be the big showdown. Ronaldo against Messi. Oh my God, we're going to get to see them on the field again. Ronaldo was not playing. He was injured or not in the team. It was out on a palco. Messi picked up an injury on the bench the whole game pretty much.
It's a bad look for Inter Miami. It's a bad look for Messi. It's a bad look for the league.
Is it really a bad look for
it's
the league?
Okay,
let's dive
bad
into
look.
that. How is this a bad look for the MLS?
It's a bad look because, again, it sets you again into where you belong on the world stage.
Is the
Al
MLS
Nassr
sending Inter Miami?
They're not sending their best.
No, are they telling Inter Miami, oh yeah, go play this Messi
No.
tour?
But just by the fact that they're going and playing in these places and playing against a team of absolute mercenaries, you're still playing against Brozovic. You're still playing against Emerick Laporte. You're still playing against Cristiano Ronaldo's team. You're still playing against Anderson Talisca, who was killing it over in the Chinese league, a great Brazilian forward attacker. You're playing against these players that would do well in Europe, and they're choosing the payday, and they had just recently done very well, and they're putting them up against a preseason Inter Miami. The optics aren't great. The optics, as far as like the people who are wanting to see Messi, are great. There's people, again, it's a once in a lifetime thing that where you're going to see Suarez and Messi. They're camping out in the hills. They're camping out outside. They're going to see the great one in their backyard. But other than that, and just the monetary value of it, I don't see how this is going to help you win one of those 6 tournaments and potential silverwares that we were discussing. They did win one 100%, but that really kind of resets where the MLS is in comparison to the rest of the world. 6-0 is, I don't care if it's a friendly, but at the same time, you can't put too much stock in that. You're not going to be facing these types of teams here in the MLS. And is the level of Saudi Arabia currently right now better than the MLS? In a concentrated way, I'd say, yeah, possibly.
I'm going to double down and say, I even tweeted about that, right? We're saying, I'm going to reinforce this again and say, playing anywhere abroad is going to be better than playing anywhere in North America, whether it's the Mexican League or the MLS, or one of the Central American leagues for sure. But
yeah,
anywhere in Europe and according Saudi,
yeah,
I mean, you see it there. You had some of the stars. Yeah, it's a preseason.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a long break from MLS teams.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, you got to show out in these games.
And to give a direct contrast into kind of what the levels are for preseason, right? I think to LAFC were the reigning champions of the MLS Cup. San Diego Loyal went up to LAFC. LAFC, a team that was their last preseason game before going into the season, whereas SDFC, I think, played against LMU once, and that was the beginning of their season. I think San Diego Loyal played very well for the time period that they were talking about. Miami, here Michael saying that had been playing for maybe 2 weeks off the offseason. That's incredibly true. They're putting things back together. The team, again, the levels might be different, but you could have put out a more competitive squad had they had a little bit more time to meld and really have a play style. Who knows? But at the end of the day, that's kind of what we're getting. And, they're going to Hong Kong. They're playing against the Hong Kong 11. They're playing everywhere in the world. It's a great experience for the players themselves. But at the end of the day, this is still a preseason to prepare you to play against DC United. So
Yeah.
maybe you should try to play against teams that play like your competition locally. But again, this is a huge money opportunity to be seen, to expand the game if I ever want to go that far. But it's interesting. I think the whole tour is a gaff in a soccer footballing term. Marketing, all that, it's great.
I heard it again. Oh man,
It's all good.
it's a rat drown.
Did anyone expect Miami to win? No. And yeah, they're not great. They're not great in the league. They really are. And the budgets, yeah, again, they're big. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, like, this doesn't mean that you put extra miles on Messi's legs that they didn't need to be there. Sounded closer.
Yeah, no, it's getting wild right now. But I definitely agree, right? I mean, it's definitely a money grabber for sure, where you're going to be traveling to different countries, and promoting Messi as the headliner for this, and then still not putting him on the field, even if it's for 5-10 minutes. How much could he really aggravate an injury in 10 minutes, right? He doesn't, let alone he doesn't run much on the field anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He knows when to run, where to run, because he's a freaking genius with the ball and genius in the game. Put him out for 10 minutes at least. Or if you know he's not going to play, don't sell tickets. Don't hike up the prices like that. I personally feel like that's messed up, and which is why they were our gaff of the week in the Juego Bonito segment. Take that in there, Miami. They're going to see this and be like, damn, we're at San Diego Punto Football. It's 2 balls in the mic. Gaff of the week? Damn it. Do better.
Yeah, no. The one David Beckham's going to be watching is like, no. How dare they? All right. But instead of now the greats, the last segment is, we'll just throw it up here. It is definitely the great one, the captain. One of 2 people here for the San Diego Sockers is Craig Childs. Craig Childs has been doing fantastic for the San Diego Sockers in terms of stepping up. He's growing the mustache out. The San Diego Sockers had a little bit of a slippery slope here as I'm about to do some self-promotion for the Soccer's Overtime tomorrow, 5 p.m. On Twitch. Me, myself, and Craig Elston. But yeah, this man right here, Craig Childs, with a 3rd kit. Did you like this kit? I mean, you can be on.
It's all right.
Got it. That's fair.
It's all right.
That is fair.
Me and kits. Me and kits. I just want to see the team doing good and playing good,
and they're doing good. Craig Childs getting a couple of goals in there, and then you had
Luca de la Torre.
Mm-hmm.
Luca de la Torre, who got to score as well, and I'm trying to find a video of his goal. But here I have a celebration of it. Thank you, Celta Vigo.
You have it. You put it up there.
Yep.
Where is it?
Here we go.
Where is it? ¿Dónde está?
You got Luca de la Torre celebrating a goal in La Liga, which he hasn't had many, but definitely I like the tag. What about this U.S. men's national team?
Ooh, get him.
So he had a goal and an assist in this match. So shout out Luca de la Torre, San Diego-based player, playing in Celta Vigo in La Liga. Definitely making a name for himself. But those were our greats of the week. Big shout out to Craig Childs as well.
And with that has been this week's. Again, we're definitely going to have some audio. El Juego Bonito. Goals, greats. Goals, gaffes, and greats.
That's going to be the bit. You just keep saying that, and that's the thing.
All right. So that's going to go ahead and wrap us up for today here on 2 Balls and a Mic, powered by San Diego Punto Football. You can go ahead and make sure that you follow everything soccer in San Diego at our website. That is definitely important. And I should have a banner. And I don't. San Diego Punto Football. Literally. San Diego.
Stay tuned with our social media tomorrow for the Jaden Shaw press conference. Should be a good one for sure. But thank you again, everyone who watches from beginning to end, and anyone that tunes in, whether it's on Instagram, X, on YouTube. Big shout out to every single one of you. Love you. Thank you for all the support. It's been 4 years. Amazing journey so far.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Procrastinating Puma. Thank you.
Big shout out to
Escon-
Escondido.
Big shout out Escondido. Shout out to the Chrome Ball Tour. Check it out at Poway. Edwin the Great, thank you for your contributions.
¿Y el América? No te creas, Edwin, no te creas.
Sounds good. See you guys next week.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good one, guys.